Alright, and welcome back. Today I'm going to show you how I made a song from only samples from outside. It's more of a sketch. Let's head into the Ableton and I'll show you how I did it. So this is a session. These are all the samples I took, and on this track it's the samples I actually used. So first, to start off with the drums, with a kick. I had a low and a high kick. And I used the Walking Gravel with Loud Deep Bumps sample. Sounds like this. So start with the low kick. Let's get rid of all this. And I zoomed in on the sample and I found a sound I liked, and it sounds like this. Just a little bit of EQ, low pass at 2.4 kilohertz, and yeah, a little envelope. Nothing much. Added some auto filter on it, some saturator, and a drum bass to beef it up. Moving quickly over to the high kick. Let me just get rid of all these effects first. And that sounds just the same, funnily enough. I got rid of the lows and the highs, and boosted the mids. Up here. I think that must be around 3,000 or 4,000 maybe. And some there, some auto filter. Some saturator again, and the drum bass. Saturator and the drum bass will be a theme for today. And yeah, together it sound like this. Pretty good. So moving over to the snare. Same trick there, snare high, snare low. I'll go to the snare high first. Get rid of all the effects. You can see that I used the Tree Trunk Knock 2. Sample sounds like this. That's what I used. So I used that and zoomed in. Sounds like this. Pretty beefy on its own, but not a snare, so I did some EQ. Some auto filter. Saturator again, and a Valhalla Vintage Verb. And for the low snare, it's the same sample, some EQ, different EQ, get lower, the auto filter, saturator, and Valhalla Verb, my favorite reverb. Together sound like these. For the hi-hat I used the walking stairs. I just recorded myself walking out of the door and downstairs. Very exciting. You get the drift. Let's get rid of the effects. I'm going to zoomed in and play with a decay and a sustain and release, which I did with all the samples. Just a little envelope, no EQ. Sounds like this. That's a door closing. I think I just zoomed right in and found something that sounded pleasant, sounded good. Some EQ, saturator, drum bass, and a reverb. Also try to make an open hi-hat. That was not very... I wasn't too happy with it, but I didn't use it too much, so I didn't actually bother spending too much time on this. I only had 2 days to do this because I was ill, and yeah, a lot of time went away. So I had 2 days before I had a deadline to enter this into a listening party. How it sounded on its own. Some EQ, saturator, some drum bus to beef it up a little bit, and then a reverb to give it some room. So that was the drums, actually. If I can solo the drums and just play some of it, it sounds like this. For the bass, actually for all the melodic instruments, I used one sample, and that's the lawnmower, and it sounds like this. Nice, isn't it? So I zoomed in, found a region I could loop to make it sound good. Then I tuned it. I set the root note to be a 3, and then I detuned it until it was in tune, actually. So I slapped a tuner on it and tuned. So that answered the question that maybe nobody asked themselves: can you tune a lawnmower? Yes, you can. A little bit silent because it's yeah, you'll hear that. Added some drum bass to get a little bit of drive and crunch and boom. So I added this one. This is Darkglass Ultra from Neural DSP, and it models Microtube's B7K Ultra from Darkglass. It's an amazing bass distortion DI EQ pedal. Makes the bass sound like this. Right, then after that, utility to just send everything below 119 Hertz in mono. That's the bass. The synths I had 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 synths, one ethereal synth, where I used a lot of, yeah, here you can see the tuner. It's saturated in a chorus and a doubler and Ovox, without Ovox. Give it a little bit of a movement. For one of the leads, synth leads, I use the chorus and the saturator and Valhalla Supermassive. And I had synth distortion, which I used the amp. I used that for the main theme. And yeah, another synth lead. A little bit sharper. These two together. It had the ARP that arrives at the end. Here's the Echo Boy, the Valhalla Supermassive. Synth lead Lushner. And the drum bass, and yeah, and the arpeggiator from the Ableton arpeggiator, basically. and also had a synth pad. Used Echo Boy, Supermassive, chorus ensemble, synth lead, Lushner again, some EQ and drum bass, just a little bit of different EQ than the ARP. And for the intro, I just used a couple of the recordings. I used the Water Stream and the Walking in Gravel. Sounds like this together. Yeah, so I made all the sections in Ableton Session View, and then I recorded it to Arrangement View and just tried to produce it a little bit. Didn't do too much to it. I added some vocals. I was at the tail end of a pretty heavy cold, so I don't sound very nice here, but yeah, it is what it is. So that is basically it. Not many instruments, not many tracks. Didn't do much to it. I did a little bit of production and then quick mixing just to get it to a listenable level. With that, I would like to thank you all for watching, and yeah, see you in the next video. Here is the song.
The news these days, nothing but wars and moral decay, and it makes me mad. When I look in the mirror sometimes and try to get it all out of my mind, but I fail. That too makes me mad. Day by day we are getting older, rushing around to attend, giving to the expectations of make the best of what you have. Deafening noises in my head. Every time I wake up, I am reminded of the state of the world. I wish I could turn it all off, like in the old days. Hide in my house with my things, my music and my books, and just be ignorant. Just hide from the fact that we are growing older and the world is getting colder and more malicious day by day. I want to hide, I want to scream, I want to fight, I want to hide. I want to hide so bad. So let's hide together. Hide in a house with our things, our music and our books, and just make music for the sake of making music. And to heal ourselves. And maybe heal someone else, because if enough people make music to heal, we can heal a part of the world that's worth keeping. And let the rest be consumed by fire. And let the rest be consumed by fire. I'll let the rest be consumed by fire. I am consumed by fire.